What is it about this city that has made empires throughout history draw battlegrounds and fight to possess it? Empire after empire, kingdom after kingdom. At every juncture in human civilization, there has always been a battle to possess the jewel of the Levant, the city of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the epicenter of the decades-long Israeli-Palestinian conflict. As we embark on this journey, we shall navigate through the layers of time, witnessing how conquerors from distant lands vied for this jewel of the Levant. How did these conquests shape the city's destiny? And how did Jerusalem, in its silent resilience, shape the stories of these mighty empires? The year 1000 BC is widely believed to be the official birth of the city when King David conquered it and made it the capital of the Jewish kingdom by incorporating Judah and Israel into his empire. Under David's rule, the city was fortified and transformed into a strategic geographical location in the Judean highlands. Although the kingdom thrived under King David, it wasn't until the reign of his son, King Solomon, that the city reached its peak. Under Solomon, the construction of the kingdom's most important structure, the First Temple, commonly referred to as Solomon's Temple, was commissioned. This magnificent structure did not only serve as a place of worship for the Israelites, it also symbolized the unity of the Israelite kingdom and its special covenant with the divine. By this time, Jerusalem was now a full religious, economic, and political capital under a strong ruler. After Solomon's death, the once unified and peaceful kingdom was split into Israel and Judah. This division weakened them, making the region more vulnerable to invasion, and by 721 BC, the Assyrian Empire invaded and took many Israelites as captives to Assyria. In 586 BC, the Babylonians, led by King Nebuchadnezzar II, attacked the kingdom. They used various strategies to defeat the Israelites, and after destroying Solomon's temple and capturing Jerusalem itself, ending a 30-month siege, they took the Israelite elite, including royalty, officials, and craftsmen, into exile in Babylon. It wouldn't be until 516 BC that the Israelites would be permitted to go back to Jerusalem by the Persian ruler Cyrus the Great after his conquest of Babylon in 539 BC, where they built the Second Temple, marking the renewal of the Jewish faith and identity in their homeland. After capturing vast areas from the Persian Empire, Alexander the Great entered Jerusalem in 332 BC, greeted not by armed resistance, but a peaceful procession. Yet, after his passing in 323 BC, the city's control changed hands often. Amid this flux, a group of Jews, driven by a deep commitment to their faith, rose against the Seleucids, one of Alexander's successor regimes. After driving out the Greeks, a Jewish dynasty from the Hasmon family took over control of Jerusalem and established an independent Jewish kingdom and ruled for a century. In the year 63 BC, a Roman general named Pompey arrived in Jerusalem. Local rulers governed on Rome's behalf, ensuring the region's stability and allegiance to the empire. However, after the Great Revolt by the Jews in 66 CE, the city came entirely under Roman control. In the 4th century, a profound transformation occurred in the heart of the Roman Empire. By 324 CE, Constantine had become the sole ruler of the Roman Empire, and Christianity was on its way to becoming the state religion. This transition marked the beginning of the Byzantine or Eastern Roman period, with Constantinople as its capital. Jerusalem, due to its significant role in the birth of Christianity, took center stage and became a vital city under Eastern Roman rule. This prominence led to monumental constructions, including Jerusalem's Church of the Holy Sepulchre. In the year 614 CE, a new power, the Persian Sassanid Empire, approached Jerusalem. With the help of Jewish allies, they managed to capture the city, and the brutal Byzantine-Sasanian War, which facilitated Jerusalem's capture, resulted in immense bloodshed and led to the destruction of significant Christian landmarks, including the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. As humiliating as this was for the Romans, this would not be their end, as they launched a campaign to recapture Jerusalem in 629 CE. The campaign was a success and ended in a peace treaty that saw the Romans regain their old territory and honour. As prestigious as this victory was for the Romans, their celebrations were short-lived, as the dawn of Islamic rule in Jerusalem lay on the horizon. The Rashidun Caliphate under the second Caliph Umar was rapidly expanding, its borders moving through the vast deserts of Arabia and into Byzantine territories. Patriarch Sophronius, the Christian leader of Jerusalem, allegedly having visions of a man who would come to the city without bloodshed, a man of justice and faith. This supposed vision came to reality as the city gates opened, and in walked Caliph Umar, not on a grand stallion, but humbly on foot. No opulent armour, just simple robes. He came not as a ruthless conqueror, but as a guardian of faith. And the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, amongst other religious sites, remained under Christian care. The Muslim conquest of Jerusalem brought with it significant architectural and cultural influences. In the 7th century, Muslims constructed the Al-Aqsa Mosque. It is believed to be the place where the Prophet Muhammad was transported during the night journey before he ascended to the heavens. The Dome of the Rock was built by the Umayyad Caliphate. It is a shrine constructed around the foundational stone, which holds deep religious significance in Islamic, Christian and Jewish traditions. At the end of the 11th century, tensions escalated between the Christian and Muslim powers around the Mediterranean. In 1095, Pope Urban II called for a crusade to reclaim the Holy Land. Various Crusader armies, made up of knights, foot soldiers and pilgrims, journeyed from Europe through Anatolia. After seizing key cities like Antioch and Edessa, the Crusaders approached Jerusalem's walls. In 1099, they captured the city. This victory was marred by a massive slaughter of its Muslim and Jewish inhabitants, with synagogues and mosques set ablaze, trapping many inside. 88 years after the Crusaders took Jerusalem, Salah ad-Din reconquered it. Yet, like a phoenix, Jerusalem never remained subdued for long, being conquered and reconquered by various Muslim and Christian kingdoms. By 1517 CE, the Ottoman Empire had brought Jerusalem under their expansive domain. Recognizing the city's historical and strategic significance, Suleiman the Magnificent, between 1538 and 1541 CE, undertook the monumental task of rebuilding its walls. This effort effectively rejuvenated the city, reinforcing its pivotal position in the region. For the residents of Jerusalem, life under the Ottoman Empire was defined by a relative stability and a mosaic of cultures. The millet system allowed religious communities, be they Christian, Jewish or various Muslim sects, a degree of autonomy in their affairs, overseen by their religious leaders. This tapestry of coexistence, though not without its shortcomings and challenges, ensured that Jerusalem continued to be a melting pot of faiths and traditions. During the First World War, Britain sought to undermine the Ottoman Empire by supporting Arab nationalist uprisings against Ottoman rule. After the defeat of the empire in World War I, their dominion in the Middle East, which had lasted for centuries, came to an end. In 1916, Britain, France and Russia secretly agreed on new borders for the region in what would become known as the Sykes-Picot-Sazonov Agreement. With the Ottomans gone, Britain aimed to control Palestine for its strategic value and to protect the Suez Canal. In 1917, the Balfour Declaration, conveyed in a letter from Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour to Lord Rothschild, a leading figure in the British Jewish community, endorsed the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, predominantly an Arab-inhabited land. This set the stage for escalating tensions, amplified post-World War I by increased Jewish immigration under the British Mandate. By 1947, the United Nations partition proposal further strained relations, culminating in the ethnic cleansing of approximately 700,000 Palestinians and the outbreak of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. thus inaugurating a profound refugee crisis. The landscape further morphed with wars in 1956, 1967, and 1973, the most famous of which being the 1967 Six-Day War, which expanded Israel's territories. This war left Israel in control of the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem, territories predominantly populated by Palestinians and Palestinian refugees. In the 1990s, the Oslo Accords offered hope for peace between Israelis and Palestinians. However, the continued expansion of illegal Israeli settlements with no end in sight, combined with security worries, were a severe hindrance to progress. Over time, with shrinking Palestinian lands, the introduction of the West Bank barrier, and the solidification of apartheid, tensions continued to grow. This led to the complex Israeli-Palestinian conflict we see today. Jerusalem is therefore more than a geographic landmark. It is the spiritual epicenter of diverse civilizations, a confluence of faiths, cultures, and histories. It has witnessed the footsteps of prophets, monarchs, seekers, and soldiers. Beyond spirituality, Jerusalem's pivotal location and bridging continents renders it a treasured geopolitical gem, connecting the East with the West. The essence of Jerusalem lies in its mix of the divine and the terrestrial, making its possession a matter of both political power and theological legitimacy.